Hey, good morning. Good Saturday morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. You guys hear me in your headset okay?
Yeah, you're blasting through.
Oh, really? Well, that's up to Brett. I'm talking normal, so he's got to turn down your earphone.
Turn me up a little, Brett.
Mike's blasting. Turn him off. But we'll get things straightened out here. Good Saturday morning. Rain for a portion of the day today, then supposed to maybe start drying out around noon, get a little better. We'll be very wet around on athletic fields if you're doing something outside, but indoors for the is there still basketball? There is still youth basketball going on, but I don't know if it's today or if it's just during the week. I'm asking you, Mike, because don't you have something?
Yes, All-Star games in the league.
Are they today or are they just
Tuesday?
Because I know Denny Hoover told me that the game was Tuesday.
I think it starts in the middle of the week.
Does it?
Yeah.
And maybe up on
maybe
Saturday?
finishes next Saturday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Like a tourney.
Yeah, tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, Denny Hoover is my granddaughter's coach.
Okay. Then
he's the All-Star coach.
Okay. Yeah. Then you saw her picture in the paper on Thursday. Yeah. You didn't even mention it. Look at him shake his head because he has no clue what I'm talking about.
I did see the paper.
It didn't turn to sports. I saw her picture in the paper. Oh, we're gonna
look at that.
Got a good bit to cover this morning. High school basketball. I don't know when high school basketball playoffs. They're always anticipated and always hyped up, but man, this year it just seems to be really big because some of the matchups that we're going to see, now that the regional finals are set. We'll get into that a little bit.
And here's the great thing. Anybody that wants to go see some of these matchups probably be able to get a seat.
I hope so.
In Lawrence Joel Coliseum.
What's the oddest thing, though? The oddest thing to me is playing the East Regional in Lawrence Joel Coliseum in Winston-Salem. I mean, that's a haul. I mean, what's one of the cities in the upper part of North Carolina near the coast is Elizabeth City. Comes to mind. Northeastern. That is the high school there. I don't know how long it would take to get.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not going to be a lot more than some of the first round games were.
That's right.
That we went over. Some of these first round games, we looked it up. Was that in here or was that somewhere? Some of them were 5 hours. That was Monty Moss telling I looking those up one night. First round games, and they were just like on a school night, 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do to fix it.
No. You just have to grin and bear it and get through it.
Yeah. But there were some long travels in the first, probably not just the first round, but the first round stood out to me.
I always feel for the bottom seeds who know that they're in, but they got to go to the number one seed, and it's a distance to travel. That's always tough.
Yeah, and that happens.
Knowing that probably you're going to be outmanned anyway.
Do you think that's the reason that some teams, if you knew, I guess you owe it to those kids to give them a chance, let them play in a playoff game, but teams opt out for different reasons.
Yeah. And
sometimes it is travel because it's just too expensive, Got to rent a charter bus.
It is.
Got to, I'm sure that's the biggest expense.
The strangest thing I've seen this basketball season, not high school, but Davidson College women's team.
Did they opt out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just kidding when I said that. But you're telling me that the Davidson College women's team opted out of what?
They closed down their season due to injuries.
You mean before the regular season?
Yes.
Because it's over now, right? They're in tournament play right now.
But no, this was weeks ago.
Wow. Oh, I mean, I would like to know how many on that roster.
And get this, they were off to like a 12-1 start.
And that's when they did it?
No, I think it was
after they were 12-13.
Yeah, they got to be 12 and they lost 10 in a row. I don't know the real details, but yes.
Reason for opting out: the 10-game losing streak is ranks number one. I don't know. That's That's a shame for the
Yeah.
girls that were healthy.
Mhm.
What would you, as a coach or an athletic director, what would you have to get down to player-wise before you said, we just can't go any further? Because obviously 5 is what everybody's going to say, but I don't think so. I
No.
think you got to
No, you can't go.
7,
Just
8.
7 or 8,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, before you would
Yeah, and then you start risking
Consider-
injury to those that have to play
every minute.
Every minute.
Yeah.
So
Oh, who did I hear talking this week? It was a baseball thing. You know, baseball's just around the corner.
oh yeah,
High school's already
already gone.
going.
Started
College
going.
already going. Major League is, 3 weeks away?
Hey, the teams I cover have played 23, 24 games already.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? And they'll play 60 probably
50.
in the regular season. But this, whoever it was I heard talking about the baseball thing was talking about playing players and play them every day and that kind of thing. And the manager, God, was it? I don't know if for some reason the Braves manager, and it comes to mind that's who they were talking to. Okay, I know when it was now. It was a spring training game this week that I was watching with the Braves and the Red Sox. So it was one of those two managers said, we believe in playing them every day, especially if they want to play every day, because we think that prevents injury because you're doing the same thing, you know, with all the muscles and everything. It's
Yeah.
that they thought it was more likely to see an injury on a player that, you know, takes time off or comes off the bench or something like that. There's more injuries happen there than they do if they play every single day. But they, didn't say anything about not letting that pitcher throw more than 70 pitches on opening day. Anyway, is that about the average on opening day for a major league
How many?
pitcher? 70.
Yeah, it might be.
Depends on who it is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Somebody might be able to go longer than that. And I understand that. Most places you play, it's cold when you start, especially if it's in the Northeast or the Midwest. You're going to play in cold ballparks.
Boone's pretty cold.
Boone. Yeah, well, I was talking about the major leagues.
Yeah,
They hadn't landed one yet.
Not
Although
yet.
the A's might be looking to go to Boone because nobody wants them at this point. Isn't that a strange situation?
Yeah.
The mayor of Las Vegas, this was a couple weeks ago, and I don't think we ever mentioned it. Did you hear that he came out and said, I think it might be best if the A's just work it out and stay in Oakland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a city that you can't say stole their football team because they really didn't steal them. They gave them the Raiders a good place to come and play.
Yes.
It's packed every single game. It's a city, a tourist city everybody wants to go to, so there's plenty of reason to go there.
You might as well watch a game.
But
if
the
you go.
A's, I don't know if it's got something to do with putting 5,000 people in the seats, for 81 games, or what the reason was. I never did hear the reason that the mayor come out and said they might want to just look at staying in Oakland. And, maybe that's gotten straightened out by now. Maybe somebody can tell me. But that was I thought that was strange. Where would the Oakland A's, where would be a good landing spot if they're not in Oakland and they're not in Vegas?
Raleigh?
You think?
Nah, I'm just.
I mean,
I've heard some rumblings.
yeah, but I
about-
would go to Charlotte over Raleigh.
Yeah, probably.
Because do you think the stadium in Charlotte is upgradable where it is now? Because great location downtown.
Oh yeah, downtown. Yeah,
Is
big.
it upgradable to a major league ballpark?
What does it hold?
I don't know.
4,000 or 5,000.
I don't know if it could be expanded.
I think they built it with that
I
in
know
mind.
the parking's not good.
Some of
Oh,
the
no.
places,
No,
some of the
no.
places that do real well. Louisville has always done well
Mm-hmm.
with their minor league teams. Maybe Buffalo has done well, but Louisville. I mean, how long is it to Cincinnati? 2 hours. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It might be too close of
Yeah.
markets.
It's hard to think of a city that fits the A's.
Where'd they start? Philadelphia.
Yep.
They're not going to go back to Philadelphia.
What about Montreal? Go back and be the Expos.
was the issue there non-support?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I
there.
saw a lot of games on TV there, and it was similar to Oakland, I think, crowd-wise.
Oh,
Right.
So I don't know if that would work out or not. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, Louisville comes to mind, and I'm sure there are others we could sit here and think of. I'm about to think you could put them in Boston because we need a major league team, right? Right, Lenny?
Yeah.
We started to backslide here a little bit. Let's see. Rodney says Knight Stadium holds about 10,000. Yeah, well, that's more than the A's are drawing right now.
They'll never
per
fill
game.
that up.
But, well, I think they would.
Yeah.
You know, here's the deal with bringing a major league team to Charlotte. Everybody here has got a favorite team.
Yeah.
You're going to go watch them when they come.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah,
people who are Braves fans.
well, what I kind of wondered is how long it'll take people around Charlotte to make that their new favorite team, to switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
How long did it take the Panthers?
And it's a baseball town for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I used to think of Pittsburgh as a baseball town.
Yeah, used to.
A full athletic city at one time. But now it's just, I think now it's just a Steelers town, and number two is not the Pirates. Number two is probably the Penguins in Pittsburgh right now because they fill it up. They win championships. They spend money. Pirates not doing so. Not doing so.
And it's been a while for the Steelers, even though they make the playoffs usually.
Oh, they're going to go 9-8. You can count on it.
Count on that.
Ronald Acuna played like 362 games in 675 days. This is Lenny giving us this information. That lasted almost 2 years. Because he played winter ball, those 2 years is the reason he played so many. It was probably Snicker they were talking about, and I think it was. I think that's who they were interviewing at the time. These guys will talk a little more. Joey Cora, manager of the Red Sox, and what's Snicker's first name?
Brian.
They talked a little more, opened up a little more on the mics during spring training than they would during the regular season. Although they will get on there, I give them credit. They will get on there in the regular season and talk like between half innings. But have you? I know this is really going off a little bit, but have you seen Sunday Night Baseball when they will interview a player live while he's in the field playing defense?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. One of the better ones was Kyle Schwarber and what's the guy? Help me. The other Philly that everybody loves or hates.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Those were
Mhm.
both really good interviews, in-game interviews. But I have seen them be talking, and all of a sudden the balls hit their way, and they got to just take off running and take off moving. It's good that that the Major League Baseball will allow it. I think it brings you closer to the game, and that the players are willing to do it.
Yeah, they're always looking for an edge, something a little different to push the envelope.
Well, speaking of that, what do you think Major League Baseball could do to what could they do to fill up the ballparks around the country? And they're not going to fill them up every night because you play 81 games at home, but more than 50% of the time. If you could take, say, 60%.
If they could take some of the ideas of the brilliant guy down in Savannah.
Oh my gosh, where the fans catch it and it's an out.
Yeah.
You seen that?
No.
Yeah. If the fan catches the ball, the batter's out.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, that's great for
You
that.
know where this guy earned his marketing chops? With the Gastonia Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were very popular there.
This guy's very creative.
Yeah.
I'd like to go there to a game sometime just to see. You probably have to buy tickets in advance
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think they sell out every single
Absolutely.
night because you don't know what's going to happen next.
He's got a book out. I mean, that came out a year or so ago, telling his story of his marketing strategy, starting out now with a team like the Grizzlies, summer wooden bat league team, and just eventually taking those skills to Savannah.
Mm. Ned says, agree, it was probably Brian Snicker. Saw a graphic last season show that many Braves starters played almost every game. Well, they forgot to play in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Is
that the most surprising team in recent memory after a so regular season to get that far to the World Series?
Oh, in the D-backs?
Yeah.
I think
probably,
so.
yeah.
I think so, especially now because they had to win 2 series, right, to get there. It used to be you just, didn't have to win. Or did they have to win 3?
Yeah, they
were in a
win,
playing game. Yeah, they had to win 3 to get there.
2 out of 3 to start. I think they beat Milwaukee in a 2 out of 3, and then the Dodgers, and then the Phillies.
And they were great on the road.
Yeah,
I mean, being the lowest seed, you're going to be on the road the majority of the time.
That's right.
And they play great baseball on the road. Lenny says the stadium in Charlotte, I think, was built to upgrade for MLB.
Yeah.
I'm like Brett. I have heard Montreal mentioned. Others are Louisville, Indianapolis. That's one I was trying to think of in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Indianapolis has always done really well.
Might work.
And Mexico City.
Ooh.
Know about that?
Either.
Well, it'd be called the Cartels.
that's one of those things where I think it'd be tough to bring in free agents.
Yeah, right. Well,
maybe the Latin America. I don't know.
That's exactly what came to my mind. They may be more,
the Latin American players.
They may be more likely to say,
I don't know.
This is
I like
where I
that.
want to be.
Yeah.
But the Cartels. I like it. Mexico City drug lords. The drug lords of Mexico City.
A lot better than the Washington Commanders or the.
Oh, Brady's cracking on you.
Oh no.
Well,
I
Brett
didn't
knows
name
that's a horrible name.
Yeah. Think about that. That's be a good topic this morning. What are the worst nicknames? Some of the worst
that is a good
nicknames.
topic.
Commanders and Guardians are two.
They go right up to the top.
Yeah.
Guardians.
Phil,
Oh, Lord.
this is Lenny again. One second. Phillies eliminated the Braves the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Playoffs.
that's right.
So I didn't realize that. I didn't. That's the makings of a baseball rivalry, especially when you're in the same division.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how the series went last year. They played 19, or they dropped that some.
I think it has
against
been
division
dropped.
votes, like 15 maybe, 13.
Yep.
It was 19, which that's a lot of your games, right there.
Yep.
Half of them, if you think about it. So now I wonder what they dropped to, and I wonder, the Braves have probably beat them in the season series both times that they lost.
Yeah, I'm
in
sure
the
they
playoffs,
did.
I would guess, because the Braves have been a really good. Hate to say it, a really good regular season.
Regular
team.
season team.
Yep. 123 to 122. Brett, I bet you know what that is.
That's the Lakers.
Lakers last night with a 1-point win,
But
over the Bucks.
LeBron sat out. He's been nursing an ankle injury most of the year. Anthony Davis left the game with a shoulder injury. So it was good and bad. Good that they won, but not good that Anthony Davis, who's been healthy this year.
Spencer Dinwiddie seals Lakers win with a huge block on Damian Lillard. Hey,
Yeah.
let me ask you.
Yeah, I didn't stay up for it all, but I did see D'Angelo Russell scored 44 for the Lakers.
Speaking of huge blocks, who was the guy a couple nights ago? Did you guys see it on Sports Center? The guy at the end of, I think it was the NBA game. The guy went up, and his head may have hit the.
Oh, yeah, it was Anthony Edwards.
Oh my gosh, what a
Minnesota.
block to save the day, and it was clean.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was clean. He got all ball, and his arm when he blocked the shot was probably a foot above the rim.
Yeah.
Whenever he blocked the shot, and it was a 1-point game, right? So the bucket goes in, the other team wins. But that was a heck of a block. We love to see buzzer beaters. When comes to basketball, and it be the shot that ends a game. But that
Yeah.
block was pretty exciting.
How
as
appropriate
well.
with March arriving.
Yep.
You're going to see a lot of those.
Yep. Well, the NBA's full of them anyway. I was watching a game last week, and I can't remember who it was. Brett will probably remember. The team appeared to have it won, though. And all of a sudden, I think it was Cleveland. And Cleveland threw it in bounds and just heaved it, and nothing but net. And celebration tilted the other way.
I do remember, but I don't remember the teams.
Yeah, I don't even remember the guy that shot it. But I mean, that's what if you're going to watch one, you kind of hope to see an ending somewhat similar to that. NBA scores last night. We just told you about the Lakers getting the 1-point win. The 76ers fall to the Pelicans. The Pelicans have been a little bit different team, haven't they, this year?
Yeah, they've
13
been good.
games over.
They've been pretty good.
Yeah. Pelicans win on the road 103-95 in Philly. Wizards defeat the Hornets 112-100. Timberwolves fall to Cleveland 113-104. The Knicks over the Magic 98-74. The Hawks get the best of the Grizzlies 99-92. 107-100. The Thunder beat the Heat 44-19.
That's
On the
quite a
Thunder.
record.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, Minnesota and Oklahoma City have been the two big
surprises?
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
And I mean, those two are at the top of the West.
Yeah.
I can't name
pretty
you a
loaded
player
West.
on the Thunder team.
I can't name one
Just-
player.
just-
Well, it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is their top guy, and he's in the running for MVP. I don't think he'll win it, but he's in there in the
third,
conversation.
as Dan would say.
Yeah, Junior the third.
Junior the third. The Lakers over the Bucks. We already mentioned 123-122. A 40-point second quarter for the Lakers. It's funny they scored 40 points in the second quarter, and it was 67-63 at
Yeah,
half. Both teams were lighting it up.
the Lakers aren't playing a lot of defense this year. I don't know. I don't know if it's
that
LeBron's age or what, but he doesn't
Frustrating
guard
to
the
watch.
best players anymore. And yeah, it is.
And the Rockets close it out last night with the Rockets score. They win 123 to 107 last night in NBA action. Just real quick, look at the standings. In the playoffs, in the East, your one seed, the Boston Celtics. And they pretty much have control of that right now.
Yeah,
seven and a half.
they'll clinch it soon.
Yeah, 7.5 ahead of second place Cleveland. Then Milwaukee, the Knicks, Orlando, and the Miami Heat. What the most shocking thing I see, Brett, is the Sixers on the outside looking in.
I didn't realize they were.
It's 7 games above 500.
Well, that's the play-in.
Yeah,
7 through
Yeah.
10.
yeah, but still, I mean, isn't that roster good enough to be in the top 4?
Well, they lost Embiid, and that mean
that's a
he's
killer.
a potential
MVP.
MVP. He was last year's MVP, and it's hard to recover from.
For the year?
I think there's a chance he'll come back. I don't think they announced it as season ending, but he's been out a while.
Those play-ins would be Philly, Indiana, Chicago, and Atlanta. On the outside looking in, Brooklyn, Toronto, Charlotte, 15 wins and 48 losses.
Third worst record in the league.
I'd
right?
like to know what the crowds are like.
Latest on
Home
Embiid
crowds in
says
Charlotte.
Joel Embiid ramping up, still no timetable.
Okay.
So
Ramping,
and then a few days before that said hopeful for late season return.
that might mean he just started walking. I don't even know what the injury is, but
It's a knee injury.
ramping up. Well, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe he did just start walking on the treadmill or something. But
Yeah, it's
got to start somewhere.
he's listed at 280 pounds, so a knee injury not easy to come back from.
Detroit is worse than Charlotte, 10-52, as is Washington, 10-53. How many games did Detroit wind up losing in that streak?
26, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was in the 20s.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
It was 20-something, 26.
And didn't they have a
27.
20-point lead in a game toward the end of that and lost?
Now, at last report, the Wizards were working on one. I think they had lost 16 or 17 in a row.
Yep. Well,
It
guess
shows
what?
they won their last one.
Yep,
Oh,
so.
they won one in a row.
So
Oh,
they ended it.
They ended that.
Taking a look at the West, Oklahoma City. Who'd you say they got, Brett? 3 names?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's their best player.
Yeah, 44 and 19. The strange part is another one that's a surprise to me. Minnesota is the team chasing them the closest, only a half a game behind.
Yeah.
Tell me some Timberwolves.
Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert,
Oh yeah,
Karl Anthony Towns.
yep.
Yeah, Carl, he's been there for a
Mike
while.
Conley. They got a really good roster, and they're supposedly the best defensive team in the NBA.
Here's Mike a trivia question. Wonder
Yeah.
why they call Karl Anthony Towns Cat.
Cat. I don't know.
What's his initials?
Oh, KT. Hey, of course.
I knew that would be a tough one on Mike. This early.
This
This early
early.
in the
You're
morning.
springing that on me this early? Ooh.
Oh, playoff teams, the ones that get in: Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Denver, the Clippers, the Pelicans, and the Suns. Play-in games: Sacramento, Dallas. Was Dallas not really struggling early in the year? I mean, they're 7 games over.
Yeah, I think they've struggled more here recently.
Has it?
Yeah.
Have they? The Lakers and Golden State. It's hard to believe
wow.
the Lakers and Golden State are in play-in.
Yeah. Well,
I-
the West is loaded.
I'm guessing,
no.
Brett, that if it ended right now, that would be Sacramento playing Golden State and Dallas playing. No?
No.
No.
7 and 8 play.
7 and 8
And
play.
the winner is in.
Okay. 1 game.
Yeah. And the loser
Boy.
plays the winner of 9 and 10.
1 game.
So
they
the-
play 1 game.
Yeah.
And the play-
9 and 10 play, and the loser is out.
All of that's 1 game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 3 games total.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. I mean, that's
Well, I'm a Golden State fan, and we're
well, you're comfortably in the play-in game.
Yeah.
Because you're,
I think
because
so.
you're 4 games behind and 5 games ahead.
So Golden State
Let
would
me
have
rock it.
they would have to beat the Lakers, and then they would also have to beat the loser of Sacramento and Dallas.
See, it's more
get in.
NCAA tournament like.
Yeah.
1 and done, baby.
Yeah.
You
The only
don't-
difference
you don't
is
get it done.
the 7 and 8. You can lose that 7-8 game and still get in
still
Okay.
get in.
if you win the next one.
Yeah, I like the sudden death nature of that.
Yeah, and it's creative too. Well,
Well, it's
something a little different.
If you look at those standings, that works out pretty good because you've got 10 teams over 500,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody below that's pretty bad.
Let me
So-
ask you this, and you tell me, Brett. You watch it more than I do, and more than Mike does. Can anybody below those 6 lines win it? Like Philly?
Win the whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So you should say Philly couldn't with a healthy, if he comes back, healthy Embiid.
The best chance would be Dallas
Dallas. Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
because
Dirk returning?
Luka and Kyrie,
Is he back?
could carry
Yeah. That's
a team.
That's a couple of good shooters out top. But, Sacramento, Dallas, you don't even think the Lakers or Golden State could.
Not enough defense.
Okay. And then those that won't even get a chance, the Houston Rockets, the Utah Jazz, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the San Antonio Wimbies.
Mm-hmm.
How's Wimby done?
Great.
Really?
Yeah. He's awesome. His team's just terrible.
Right. Something.
He's averaging
look
21
Work around.
points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 blocks. He's been
Pretty good
awesome.
stat line.
Yeah.
Now, Rodney, I don't know what we said to trigger this. Rodney says, don't sleep on the Nuggets.
Nuggets.
They're the
that'd
best
be
team.
that's the favorite.
They're the best
Yeah.
team in the West.
Yeah, I mean, I would pick them to win it again. Let's see. The T-Wolves cat had surgery this week, says Rodney. He'll be out at least 4 weeks. He follows this as much as you, Brad, or more. Cavs and OKC are the biggest surprises for me this year. And their last 3 years of making deals have really paid off. I guess he's talking about both those teams.
Okay, give me
Like-
some Cleveland Cavaliers names of players.
Donovan
Price.
Mitchell is their best one.
Yep.
Mark Price was the Cleveland Cavalier.
Yeah.
LeBron, 2 times,
Yeah.
wasn't he? A 2-time Cavalier. Both. Let's see what else we got here. From
Danny
Rodney.
Ferry, don't forget him.
I had. I'll be honest. I had.
Brad Daugherty. He was there with Mark Price.
Well, it's kind of the segue. You guys just named a Duke and a Carolina,
Yeah.
and we got that coming up.
For Don Revel says baseball in Mexico City would be problematic. Altitude of Mexico City is
it's way up there.
7,300
Yeah.
feet.
Ooh.
40% higher than Denver.
So the fences would have to be 602.
He said, imagine how far the baseball would travel.
Ah.
Yeah, most people don't even think about Mexico and mountains and out,
No.
but man, they got them. I mean, it's I hadn't even thought about that part. Maybe they would put it down at the base, of the mountain. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't see that happening.
Have they
now,
played
right
games there or just NFL games? Have there been Major League games?
I don't know.
I don't know about that either.
Good question.
We know there's been NFL.
Couple more comments, then we got to take our first time out. Both the Cavs and OKC are really young. This is still from Rodney. Young teams who should be able to compete for the next 4 to 5 years, but don't sleep on the Nuggets. I watched them a couple games this week, and they look good. Well, to me, they are the favorite. I mean, the favorite to repeat. He said this past week they beat the Celtics, the Suns, the Lakers, and the Heat. Well, that's a pretty good playoff run in itself right there.
And Jokic he's the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody could really even argue that.
And he's one of those, if you walked into a room with 100 NBA players, he's not the one you would pick by looks to be the best player in the NBA. But he's getting it done. He's getting it done. And so unselfish to be as good as he is. You know what I mean? I don't know how many assists he's averaging a game, but he's a really good passer. He finds the open guy.
Yeah. A lot of people say he's the best passer in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's averaging 26 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, and he's shooting 58% from the field.
Speaking of foreign locations, see where the Nuggets and the Celtics are going to play a couple exhibition games in October in Abu Dhabi.
You know how to get there? Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I know it's...
what continent is it on?
It's actually in Africa, right?
Don't write me. I'm counting on you.
I think so.
There is a league in Africa, an NBA
That's
league.
right.
Yeah, that we don't know a whole lot about. But
because
I get emails from them twice a week. NBA results in NBA Africa.
The latest Duke recruit was thinking about joining that league before he's committed to Duke.
Don said the Padres and Giants played in Mexico City last year. The score was 16-11, and there were 10 home runs.
10 home runs. I wonder what the longest home run was. And guess what? What's the longest Major League home run on record? Because you would have to count that. If somebody hit one there.
It's a real game.
That's right. And if it's the longest home run in history, which I don't know how long they've been measuring them, but, you would have to count that.
How many homers over 500
and that's not really fair, like all the guys that didn't get to play there. Yeah.
Abu Dhabi is in, it's part of the
Eastern North Carolina.
The UAE, the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
Emirate.
Yep.
It's part of Asia.
It is Asia. Okay.
Yeah.
You're close, Mike.
I was really close. I was only 2 continents over, actually.
I'm glad I didn't let you buy our airplane tickets to go watch. Might have went to the wrong place. First lyrics of the morning. We're getting ready to take a time out. Are you ready, Mike? Are you ready?
I'm never
Mike?
ready, but...
Pow. Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the news. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Dr. John Colonger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner's mission is to earn their patients' respect and trust through the commitment and positivity, and offer the dental solutions in a professional environment to improve oral and overall health. The practice will be accepting new patients. Just call 704-735-0765 to schedule an immediate appointment. We can provide services like extractions, crowns, bridges, fillings, night guards, cleanings, and deep cleanings, sleep apnea appliances, partials, and dentures. We can also advise determine a treatment plan for dental implants. Dr. John Clonger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner, 904 Daunchy Drive, Lincolnton. Call 704-735-0765 to schedule your appointment and experience the dental profession in a warm and no-pressure environment. I'm telling you, the apple didn't fall far.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
It's time to get ready for spring. Time to head to Full Throttle Power Sports and 95 Trailers. Test drive an ATV or side-by-side today. Full Throttle Power Sports carries CF Moto, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, and Slingshot. And check out their trailers with brand names like SureTrack, Iron Bull, and Triton. Stop by or give them a call at 704-833-1270. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. They deal in fun.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever-changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincolnton. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. Sports talk, music talk, a little bit as well. The ads you get on your phones, they should not have done that to me. Maserati just popped up.
Ooh. Now that you're retired,
I'm guessing
maybe.
it does 185 at least, right? Hey, there's you some song lyrics right there.
Today's a good day to go try one out.
Let me test drive it in the rain. Oh man. Let's see. Rodney Willis answering correctly. Richard Howe answering correctly. Lenny Anthony. Sometimes I think Mike just gives up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I can't get the group.
Brett,
I need to hear it again.
we're going to hear it again then, right here. Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the news.
Oh, the news. I thought it said move.
Some are happy, some are sad. Oh, we got to let... I don't want to say anymore because that's part of the title. Just think about it a little bit, and then we've already got some winners. Really great tune. I don't even think I've used this group yet in any of our lyrics trivia, but
I think everything is foreigner anymore. I don't know why.
well, this group started way back,
and
as far as I know, still doing concerts today. So I could give you a great hint too, but we'll wait and see if you need it. Just think about it a little bit.
I'm close to getting it.
You're close.
Close.
That's like yeah. That's like
Way back by that you mean 70s?
or beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's another helpful hint: different lead singers. Different lead singers from time to time.
From time to time.
Yeah. And they were, yeah. Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the news. Some are happy, some are sad. Oh, we got to let the, and that's where I'm going to stop. Brett, we're going to get into high school sports here a little bit. And you, let's go through the scores from last night first. Okay, the basketball playoffs continued last night. The teams that you hear us say won last night will be playing this upcoming week for a regional championship, and the winners of that will be playing for a state championship in the same week for the first time that I remember.
Oh, yeah.
And all at the same venue, right?
It's just revolutionary.
I mean,
6 days of basketball at,
I love
at
it.
Wake Forest at Lawrence Joel.
that's unbelievable.
I know.
That's unbelievable. And the reason we're talking about
The winners
this way,
if you win on Monday or Tuesday, your championship's going to be on Friday. And if you win on Wednesday or Thursday, your championship will be Saturday.
Yep.
give you a couple
And we know
minutes in
that
between.
1A is Monday, 3A is Tuesday, 2A is Wednesday, and 4A is Thursday.
That's the regional finals.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's boys and girls, East and West.
I know that the East, the NCHSAA used to use East Carolina a lot to host their regionals.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what's happened there and why it's in Winston now. Every regional is in Winston.
Yeah, I don't know if it had anything to do with venues in the East or if the state just decided they wanted to do this. I think they wanted to do this like a Final Four where both regions play in the same arena together where they can watch each other.
That's weird.
I don't know. But I mean, and by the research I just did, Wake Forest was obviously not the most central location.
Yeah.
Because the average travel is double
than what they would
for
be
East
going.
teams.
Yeah. Wow.
Average travel for East teams is 162 miles.
The average is 160. You get that, Mike? The average East team is going to have to travel 162 miles to play in the regional on a school night.
And for West teams, it's 83.
And the farthest you told me was 2-something.
Yeah, there's two schools that are 236 miles away.
And they are?
And they're...
You want me to guess them?
Yeah, they're real close together. They're in the same town.
Is it boys or girls?
One of each.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, one of each. It's not the same school, but it is the same city.
Swansboro got beat.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that.
Birdie.
That was a close one.
Birdie County.
Birdie's pretty far, but not quite
Okay.
236.
Yeah. And I'm only looking at boys right now, so I may or
Well,
may not.
you'll see one eventually.
May or may not hit the jackpot. It's not going to be Goldsboro. It's not going to be Hickory. Oh, it's got to be East. Yeah, Hickory. That rules Hickory out. Obviously, it's got to be. Wow. Is this a school that we've mentioned before?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it? Okay.
Both schools are good and good athletic programs.
Okay.
Good in baseball, pretty good in football, pretty good in basketball. Both schools from the same city, not just the same town,
Really?
but the same city. Yeah. An eastern city.
Well, that would have to be Greenville, wouldn't it?
No,
No.
bigger.
Raleigh? Can't
No,
be Raleigh.
no,
Wilmington.
That's it. It's Wilmington.
Wilmington, okay. So, I mean, that pretty much gives it away. If I find the Wilmington school, you can go ahead and tell me so I don't have to keep searching and delaying.
Well, the girls' team is Hoggard,
Yeah.
and the boys' team is New Hanover.
New Hanover made it in boys.
Both listed from their high school to Lawrence Joel is 236 miles.
Yep, there's New Hanover beating Panther Creek 63-61 last night, and now 236
Yeah.
miles away from Winston. This makes me wonder if next year, if all the regionals will be in the East. That's
Could be.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing came to my
Yeah.
mind. Will they move them and play them at East Carolina
That would
or
be
somewhere
cool.
like that, or where?
Just bounce back and forth. There is a West team that's exactly 200 miles from Wake Forest.
Cherokee.
Yep, that's it. Exactly
Did
200.
you see what?
And I didn't even know they won or not, but I'm guessing they did win because they
well,
scored.
you wouldn't believe the score.
Yeah, I
when you
would.
see it.
They probably had won by 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that every game. Check it out.
Over Thomas Jefferson.
They win every game by about 50. That's the Cherokee girls. Let's just go through those from Friday, March the 8th.
Yeah, well, that wasn't last night. They didn't play Thomas Jefferson last night. That had to
That
be
was
an
early in
early
the week.
game.
Well, maybe they did win though, because you've already told me.
Yeah, I think they beat Bishop McGinnis last night.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a big win. I remember going. I don't know if both of you were with me or one of you was with me, but we went to the regionals one time, and Bishop McGinnis and Cherokee were playing, and Cherokee had been winning every game by 50 or more. And we walked in, we looked at the scoreboard, and they were already up 40 or so in that game, except we had one thing wrong. They were behind
Yeah.
Bishop McGinnis by 40. They had won all those games leading into that by big numbers, and then they were down to Bishop McGinnis by
Yeah, they beat Bishop McGinnis last night by 6.
just by 6.
The Thomas
I
Jefferson
figured that
game
would be
was
tough.
That was Tuesday. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Let's see if you guys got a comment, stop me. And,
Well, here, are you just doing them in random order?
Yeah.
Let me just give them in.
do it.
I mean, I've got
Classification.
1A. I've got 1A girls right here.
All right, do it.
Yeah.
Cherokee beat Bishop McGinnis 61-55, and Mountain Heritage beat Albemarle 60-41. And then
All Mountain.
So
final?
yeah, Cherokee and Mountain Heritage will play on Monday sometime.
For the 1A West.
Can we go to
Yeah.
Cherokee and
Wow.
put a bet on that?
And then in the East, it'll be East Bladen and East Columbus. They were the winners in the 1A East girls last
If
night.
Bladen's not a coastal county, it's close.
Yep, East Bladen is 167 miles.
And we
From-
know where
from Winston-Salem.
West Columbus is because we've made that trip before. So that's
Let me go back to,
long hauls.
let's see. I'll go to 4A girls now. And in the East, Hoggard beat Richmond 50-41. Roseville beat Chapel Hill 50-44. And then in the West, it was Watauga. They're the 1 seed. They beat Myers Park 50-38. And Charlotte Catholic beat Lake Norman 51-44.
Oh.
So it'll be Watauga and Charlotte Catholic and Hoggard and Roseville.
Bad night at Myers Park.
Yeah.
Bad
yeah.
night at Myers Park. They dropped 2 big games last night. We'll get to the boys here in a little bit.
In the 2A girls, we got two local teams. First in the East, North Pitt beat West Craven 67-30. And Seaforth beat St. Paul's 66-48.
And those are local?
No. In the West, Lincoln Charter, they beat number 1 seed North Wilkes 53-43. And East Burke over East Rutherford 57-40.
How about that? We're going to see an East Burke Lincoln Charter 2A West final.
I hadn't heard much about Lincoln Charter.
They just kind of cruised through the regular season with a mediocre.
Yeah,
I think they won their conference, but they had maybe 6 losses
or
so.
They're 25-5. They did lose. They lost 2 conference games, and it says they finished second in the conference.
What a league.
So,
what a league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they lost, let's see.
Who won that conference?
Well, they lost to Community School of Davidson twice. So I'm guessing
That's probably
Community
who
School
won
of
that
Davidson did. And then it looks like they beat them in the conference tournament championship. And then they've beaten Maiden, Randleman, East Surrey, and North Wilkes in the playoffs.
And you said North Wilkes was the 1 overall.
Yeah, they were the 1
West.
seed.
Yeah. Impressive run.
Isn't that who West
Impressive
Lincoln
run.
opened against? 1 versus 32?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So East Burke stayed undefeated. They won 57-40. I watched a little bit of that online.
They haven't had a close game in the playoffs, have they? I mean, pretty much breezed through there.
No, they haven't. And they
East
just
Burke?
beat.
No.
And they just beat Salisbury and East Rutherford this
Double
week.
digits. Both
Yeah,
games double
19
digits.
and 17.
Yeah, high double digits.
So
While
I would
Brett's looking
say
up the next one
they're
here.
probably a double-digit favorite if I had to.
Going back to those lyrics, Mike, Richard House says to tell Mike that they were better with Michael. That's a good hint. I told you they had multiple lead singers. He said tell Mike they were better with Michael.
Doobie Brothers.
You're getting somewhere now.
Mm-hmm.
What song was it? Go ahead, Brett.
All right, in the 3A girls, in the East, South Central beat Western Alamance 52-44, and Terry Sanford beat Cape Fear 75-68.
Cape Fear.
Gone.
So it'll be South Central and Terry Sanford, and then AC Reynolds beat Ben L. Smith 63-30, or 63-60. I'm sorry. And East Lincoln lost to West Rowan for the second year in a row, 55-42 this time. East Lincoln season.
Who was the
ends.
east side of that?
It's Terry Sanford and South Central are the 2 teams.
I may be wrong, but I'm going to say your state championship game is that West final. That is 2 solid teams.
Did West Rowan win it last year?
Yes, they did win.
They did?
Yeah.
I was
After
going
they
to
beat,
look back and see who they beat.
And I've heard a lot of things about AC Reynolds, how good they
Oh,
are.
they beat Rocky Mount, so it'll be a new team this year from the East.
Yeah, I
East
watched
Lincoln,
some
let's see, 3 losses in 2 seasons, 2 of them to West Rowan.
Yep, and they were in the West finals and the West semis.
Semis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to have a great
And
team.
the other one's to High Brighton, and I'm
Yeah.
a little confused how they lost that game, but it was early in the season, you know.
Yep.
So
Well, we knew West Rowan had almost everybody coming back from the state title team, and it was going to be, I think East would have been right there had they not lost Haley McFadden.
yeah, I was going to say,
and
let's
that's-
not forget that. What a run they made with
Yeah.
one of their best players getting hurt
That's
preseason
right.
and
Yeah,
never played.
Which robbed them of having any kind of post presence much. And some other girls have come along and helped in that area. But yeah, that was the fact that they went 27-2 without her playing at all. I think is pretty remarkable. Maybe next year. I mean, their backcourt's still young. We'll see what happens. How long can these players? They got to graduate sometime at West Rowan, you would think.
Tradition never graduates. Don't forget that.
Don't forget
and they have
that.
a tradition.
But East does too now.
Yeah, they do. They do. Got to find a way to get over that hump.
Yeah,
though,
yeah, you got to get over that hump. And,
and they're
have
young. They got a good
yeah.
nucleus coming back for sure.
Yeah, the 2 guards are sophomores.
Yep.
If indeed they come back, which we hope they will.
Or it goes straight to the WNBA.
Yeah. I don't know. In these days of
freedom.
In
these days of freedom,
and fluidity in high school transfers, I don't know. Take nothing for granted.
NIL spells disaster if it ever comes to public school athletics. Where you at, Brett?
1A boys
1A boys.
in the East. Wilson Prep.
No way.
Wilson Prep. What a surprise.
Wilson Prep beat Southern Wake Academy 54-52. And Birdie beat Washington County 61-43.
Well, at least you had the private charter schools hooked up and the two public schools hooked up.
And Birdie's actually the 11 seed. They beat the number 2 last night.
Wow. And
then on the in the West, it was number 1 seed South Stokes beat Thomasville 76-71, and Corvian Community beat Bishop McGuinness 63-58. So Bishop McGuinness, they lost a boys and a girls game last night.
Myers Park.
So, and this South Stokes team, I've been reading about them all year. They're 29-1. Their loss was to Mount Tabor, a really good 4A team. They beat Mount Tabor one time.
Really?
They beat East Forsyth, West Forsyth.
Well, West Stokes is usually good. We know we saw them win a football state title 10 years ago or so.
This is South Stokes.
South. Well, both of them are in it.
Yeah.
Both of them are still playing, South and West.
Well, West is going now. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yep.
But, yeah, South Stokes is just – I mean, they've been dominant all year. And Thomasville played them really close last night. But that's a team I'd like to see play. I don't know if I'll get to or not. But
Corvian Community, that's a relatively new school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just got on the radar in last couple of years.
1902, I think.
pretty recent.
And somewhere near Charlotte, I think. I think
it is. I read where it is. It's in the Lincoln Charter Conference, so obviously it's it's in that vicinity.
We'll go to 4A boys now. And in the East, New Hanover beat Panther Creek 63-61. And Richmond Senior beat Green Level 75-57.
See, Richmond Senior's getting a change in head football coaches. I think we mentioned that maybe last week that the head football coaches stepped down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They have a basketball player that averages around 30, and he's I can't remember if he's committed somewhere yet or not, but he's one that I'd like to see. And then in the West, 4A boys, Lake Norman beat Chambers 82-61.
I heard that there was some altercation. Something happened that game. I'm not exactly sure.
We're hearing way too much of that.
Yeah.
Way too much of that. Every night.
Every
night there's games, there's something going on.
There was an incident there, but I can't exactly remember what it was.
Hate to hear incident.
And then on the other side, the big game in Charlotte, where tickets sold out in 1 minute yesterday. North Mac beat Myers Park 79-63.
And the Duke commit?
Isaiah Evans had 48 for North Mac.
A mere 48.
And that's after last year it was the regional final. Myers Park beat North Mac by about, 20 or 30. So North Mac gets revenge this year.
How tall is this? He's a wing, I know. Is he 6'6", 6'7"?
Maybe 6'7".
Physically, he looks a little bit like Brandon Ingram, right?
He is a shooter, yeah. He does resemble him. He even looks a little bit like him in the face.
Mm-hmm. But he's thicker, though, isn't he?
No.
Okay.
He's not
he's thin.
But he can shoot, and he can shoot with defenders all over him. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Jason says that Corvian is in Charlotte.
So I think North Mac and Lake Norman will be a good one on Thursday.
I would think so.
And I'm hoping North Mac wins because I want to see him play.
Makes me wonder if they met during the regular season. They're not that far apart.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. It is a different conference. So.
Yeah, it's weird. North Mac didn't play Myers Park in the regular season, and I don't think they played Lake Norman either. They did play Mooresville. And North Mac has 3 losses. They were all to out-of-state schools.
Beating number 1 Myers Park last night by 16. I mean, that's
Yeah.
And in the Myers Park gym too, not at.
Yeah, it was.
So,
in the 2A boys in the East, Farmville Central 77, Northwood 70.
Shocker.
I'm shocked by that.
And
score.
that was the one team I thought Mike could beat Farmville Central was Northwood. They've got the UNC commit, Drake Powell. but it wasn't enough. And then Goldsboro beat Fairmont 63-56. So that's
Goldsboro's always
Farmville
good too.
and Goldsboro,
That'll be a good one.
two pretty good
That'll be a good
basketball
one. Yep.
schools.
Yep.
And then in the West, Reedsville beat West Stokes 89-50.
Hmm.
And Salisbury beat Randleman 78-56. I think everybody kind of knew it was going to come down to Reedsville and Salisbury.
Can
They've been
anybody in the
1 and
state
2 all
match? Can anybody in the state match the football/basketball programs of Reedsville?
I don't think so.
As deep as far as going deep in in both every year. It seems like.
I don't think so.
The first thing comes to my mind, Weddington.
That's what I thought of.
They're out now.
Yeah,
they lost early in the week.
But they have won a state title in basketball recently, and they won it in football this year.
Yeah.
So they are on that level, but yeah, Reedsville they're just dominating 2A right now, and they didn't win the basketball title last year. Farmville Central beat them. I got a feeling it could be different if they meet again next weekend. The Reedsville-Salisbury game will be an interesting one to see. Salisbury's got a 30-point-a-game scorer.
Yeah, that's going to be that. Yeah, that'd be worth the ticket money right there. Salisbury and Reedsville, and if whichever one wins, play them Farmville. If Farmville, Goldsboro. I mean that's 4 top quality programs.
Yeah, I don't know if Farmville is. I don't think they're quite as good as they were last year. Their scores hadn't looked as dominant as they.
But probably
were
still
last
good
year.
enough to win it.
But their only loss this year was to Reedsville,
right? In
the in a holiday tournament.
John Wall.
Yeah.
That's interesting that they did play them, and lost, and it was single digit loss, wasn't it?
It was 9 or 10.
Yeah. Yep. Lenny says, not surprised by North Wilkes losing. I know they were number 1, but I thought they might lose sooner than before the Lincoln Charter game. But they will be potentially better in the future. They had a freshman big girl that everything runs through her, and their coach said her sister has been out all year with an ACL tear. His quote, she is the best player by far I've ever coached. And I'm guessing he's talking about the injured
one.
By far. And this other girl. Wow. Yeah. Yep. That's Yep. Look out for them to be back again. Of course, you can say that about all these teams, and that's just the way. I don't know what you can do to balance high school athletics.
Even the senior heavy ones. The one I'm wondering about is Central Cabarrus, because they're finally going to lose a lot of players after this year. And
they're not the team though that we look at every year and see them. It's just been a 3-year run, basically 3 or 4 year run for them.
One loss in 3 years.
The Reedsville's in 2A. Who is it trying? Weddington, Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it's teams that go deep in those 2 sports
every year,
every single year. And I just don't know anybody right now that can match what Reedsville's doing. They were not state champs last year in both because they lost football.
They lost both.
That's right. They lost both.
Lost the championship in both.
Woo! That makes it even. I would not want to play against them this year because.
But in that basketball game, their 2 star players were freshmen last year.
They were.
And
they were. Yes. Guess what that means? They're sophomores.
Yeah. Oh boy. No end to that domination.
That's the sad part, right? For all the opponents.
Let me give the 3A boys right quick.
And this has been a collision course all year, hasn't it?
In the East, Fayetteville 71st beat Swansboro 72-65. And Westover beat Southern Durham 73-65. So
let's throw 71st in there. They played in the football title game.
I'm pretty sure Westover's a Fayetteville school, or maybe right outside of Fayetteville.
And now they're in the final. 71st is in the final 4 of basketball. So a pretty good run for them this year.
So those 2 schools are going to be traveling from the Fayetteville area to Wake Forest next week to play each other.
That's what, 3 hours?
And
maybe
then
not.
On this side,
not quite 3.
The one we've all been waiting on all year. Hickory beat Southern Guilford 82-55, and Central Cabarrus beat Ben L. Smith 84-58. So it'll be Central Cabarrus and Hickory on Tuesday.
Combined records of 61-0
something.
And the other side is who?
71st and Westover.
there again, state championships
Yeah,
played in the West, in my opinion.
I can't imagine one of those teams is going to beat Central Cabarrus. I'm just picking Central Cabarrus. If Hickory's good enough to beat Central Cabarrus, they should win the championship too.
Jason says he's our Fayetteville expert, obviously. Westover is in Fayetteville. And Lenny says Evans scored 21 of the team's 25 points in the third quarter at Myers Park.
Yeah, the third quarter.
21 in the third quarter.
He lit it up in the third, and
it was a close game.
Yeah.
Before that, right?
Yeah. They took the lead from 4 or 5 to about 15 or 16, and Myers Park couldn't answer. But yeah, Hickory with the 27-point win, Central Cabarrus a 26-point win, and that's what both of them have been doing to everybody.
Hickory won by that much over
path.
Southern Guilford?
Yeah, it was a 2-point game at halftime.
And they only have one loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score.
And I thought that one loss was to Combine, but it wasn't. It was a different CA. It was Caldwell Academy. I don't know who that is. But their colors are even similar to Combine. They're kind of teal and black.
I've heard of that, but don't know either.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score. They had 5 players in double figures, led by 6'8" center John Holbrook with 19.
They got a really good team.
Yep.
And Central Cabarrus has a great team.
Apparently a great team.
I think Hickory's got a great team too, though. When you look at the high school level and what they've done, and they still, undefeated in football, undefeated right now in basketball.
Well,
even if they do lose to Central Cabarrus, what a remarkable season.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write them off yet.
What a year.
Because, like Brett said last night, that game was pretty close till the second half, right? The Central Cabarrus game.
Both games were close at halftime.
Yep.
Well, they've got length at every position, the guards.
Yes, they do.
The centers, 6'8", just athletes all over the place.
The thing I can't believe is only one player plays both sports.
Yeah.
That they got enough athletes in the school to go undefeated in both.
Yeah.
And only one guy plays both.
That's remarkable. Jamie and Little is the only one that it was on the championship.
I know two of their stars are Julius Powell's boys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And one of them's a freshman, I think. And
Jordan Powell's a freshman and Jay Powell is a junior, so they'll both be back.
And one has a tie to Lincoln.
Yeah,
right.
Brian Littlejohn's son. Yep. And he is a senior, I think. But they'll return a lot next year. Jamie and Little will be back.
Yeah, Jamie and Little, he's a sharpshooter. He can drill it from outside. Yeah, so there's 3 guards that'll be back next year.
Not too bad at catching a football.
Yeah. They do lose the big guy, and they also lose Isaiah Littlejohn.
Holbrook's kind of what they work around. It just seems like they operate around him.
They lose Isaiah Littlejohn. He's a good wing player. But, I'm sure they'll be good next year too.
Yep, I'm sure they will. Did we get through them all?
That was it.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Sports Talk. Let's tell Mike that the one he could not get, don't you feel it growing day by day, people getting ready for the news. He got the group, the Doobie Brothers.
Hold on, I think I can get it now. I hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
It's not China Grow.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That'd be too easy when it's in the
listen
second
to the
line.
music.
Yes,
listen to the music. Yeah.
Listen
day
to the
by
music.
Day.
Yep. Here's your second one. Here's your second one for today. You can take me to paradise, and then again, you can be cold as ice. Back in a moment.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
For where 2 or 3 have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Call Mr. Sparky today at 704-499-8119.
Since 2015, Zeus Auto Repair and Performance has proudly served the greater Lincolnton area. Jay, John, Tucker are there to meet all your automotive needs, including oil changes, brakes, suspension, car detailing, North Carolina state inspections, and much more. With 3 licensed state inspectors on site, you're sure to receive the quickest and best service in town. Stop by and see the boys of Zeus Auto Repair and Performance, located at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincolnton, the old Rose Brothers service station, next to Randall's Grill for all your automotive needs. Open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today at 704-240-3061. Zeus Auto Repair and Performance.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us here on Sports Talk. Got a little feedback there. There you go. Oh, Saturday, March the 9th. So what are we? 8 days till St.
Selection
Patrick's
Sunday?
Day.
I don't know. Oh,
Yeah,
St.
that,
Patrick's Day.
that will be on St. Patrick's Day, won't it?
Yeah. Does that mean the Irish will get in?
Not this year.
I think they got to win the ACC too.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
The Irish women will get in.
Will they?
Mm-hmm.
They're not as dominant, though, as they were there for 5 or 10 year span.
Not since Muffy McGraw retired.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Just checking this scoreboard out here. I don't know. I was just sitting here trying to think of who the surprise is. Is there a surprise in any that you know of? Just that kind come out of nowhere to make the Final Four in high school?
Well, Lincoln Charter was not on my radar, but
Yeah,
then
second
again,
in their league.
Yeah.
You know, and that does make a difference. You know, I don't know. I mean, the rest of them, you know, a lot of them I don't know that well. You know, especially anything on the other side of Greensboro. We don't follow it as close. We know who Farmville Central is,
Yeah.
and that's not a surprise.
Mhm.
Neither is Goldsboro.
West Rowan girls, that's not a surprise.
Well, you'd about have to say who's not there that you thought would be.
And that is, or is there one?
I don't know.
I can't think of one.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything there to add to that either. I was going to check out the baseball scores from yesterday.
You're about high school, right?
Mm-hmm. High school baseball. Some games were played. I think most of them actually got in. I didn't see anything that was I didn't get anything that showed postponed or moved to another date. But there are a lot of them on here that say missing score, and that tells me they may not have got to play.
Well, the
before
rain started moving in mid-afternoon because I was at Claremont Health Park.
Yeah, it rained a little bit around 4 o'clock, but then it quit, and I don't know if we got any more rain. You know, like here's West Wilkes, North Iredale, missing score. Chase defeats North Henderson 8-5. Chase been pretty good the last couple seasons, haven't they?
Yeah.
South Point 6-4 over North Lincoln. I think that's North Lincoln's first loss, if I'm not mistaken. And South Point lost their first 2 games. I don't know if they won one earlier this week or not, but they were 0-2 going into that. But both of those are going to be good baseball teams.
Yeah, we know North Lincoln has the big left-hander in Kellen Carr, so they should be pretty good.
Yep. Let's see. Kings Mountain defeated Cherryville 7-3.
Ironman 1-4 on the season.
1-4.
Very young ball club.
Yeah.
Outside of the pitchers, mainly freshmen and sophomores, and their schedule's really rugged. They played East Lincoln.
Yeah, and East Lincoln is loaded. They're 5-0.
Played North Gaston. They're going to be playing Burns and Shelby in their own conference. So, I guess they'll just have to try to get better, and maybe win the 1A part of their conference.
AC Reynolds defeated Tuscola 7-5. Ashbrook over Lincoln 6-5.
Oh.
North Mac loses to Huff 11-1. Kinston is a basketball school. Let me go ahead and throw that out there. North Lenore 20, Kinston nothing. Yesterday in
they play
in baseball
somewhere. Brian Hanks is crying.
I doubt it.
No, he doesn't take that seriously.
That's exactly right. And
basketball's not a story.
Yes, it was not a basketball game. Here's the ones I hate to see. Southview 28, Douglas Byrd 2.
Oh.
Chapel Hill 18, North Carolina School of Science and Math in Durham, nothing. That's a lot to put on a jersey. Thomas Jefferson Burns, no score reported. Purnell Sweat, Mike, I'm sorry. Purnell Sweat defeated Cape Fear.
No, not a good day.
Not a good
Black
day.
Friday for Cape Fear.
Not a good day. Bishop McGinnis beats Leadership Academy 2-0. Chatham Central loses to Burlington Williams 12-1. Myers Park played baseball yesterday too, Brett. They lost that as well, 4-1. It was a dark day in athletics for Myers Park. I'm sure the basketball was much more emotional with what they had on the line, boys and girls. Forbush defeated Starmount 7-0. West Brunswick 10, West Columbus 1. New Bern over Jacksonville 5-4. Fred T. Ford beats High Brighton 6-3. A.L. Brown 4, East Mecklenburg 3. Rocky Mount, no score. West Stokes over Mooresville 5-3 in high school baseball on Friday afternoon. South Meck had a terrible tragedy.
Oh, it's
yesterday
horrible.
Morning.
Yeah, it's horrible.
A couple of students lost their life in a car accident yesterday morning on the way to South Meck. They beat Lake Norman 5-4. Lincoln Charter and Corvian Community 11-0. Lincoln Charter. Lincoln Charter's going to be good. They're always good in baseball.
And by the way, we have a player on the Gaston College Rhinos from Lincoln Charter, Mason Smith, right-handed pitcher.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Well, yesterday they beat Corvian 11-0. Sun Valley over Independence 10-8. Carson beat West Rowan 4-1. East Davidson loses to North Stanley 9-6. North Stanley a winner. East Forsyth 12. R.J. Reynolds 1. Let's see, where am I? R.S. Central 14. East Henderson nothing. So that's 2 Rutherford County schools that won on Friday. Haven't seen East Rutherford yet. Maybe we'll get to that. West Davidson 10-0 over Central Davidson. Southwest Guilford 15-1 over Greensboro Page. I don't know if I've ever seen 51 in a baseball game. I hope I don't ever see 51. Northern Guilford over Ragsdale 5-3. Wallace Rose Hill falls to East Duplin. Those guys are rivals in everything. 9-6. Richmond County falls to Southern Lee 8-2. West Lincoln gets a home win over Maiden 5-3.
What are the Rebels now? They've got off to a pretty good start.
Maybe 4-2.
4-2.
I think they might have lost their first 2. I can't remember. You can check that out maybe, but I think I'm just guessing. I'm throwing it out there. Maybe 4-2 at this point. They lost to like South Caldwell and somebody else. Lost to really good baseball schools early on. Let's see. That's about it for what we've got in the way of high school baseball on Friday.
So how about the
Friday
CVAC
afternoon.
this year in baseball? I really haven't thought that much about it, but I figure West Lincoln's going to be in there based on what we've seen.
Bandy's, I'm hearing,
Bandy's.
is really good. I'm not sure, just to be honest with you, Mike. Not exactly sure who the team is to beat in the CVAC at this time. Just real quick, trying to hit up, see if there's any softball scores of interest. I checked on the Maiden West Lincoln because I thought that would be a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it wasn't on Max Preps. This morning it was not on there anyway. I'll check again right now for you guys. Number 1 team in the state, according to Max Preps, is Garner. Garner defeated Middle Creek 9-1 in girls softball yesterday. Forbush over Starmount. We know about the Forbush program, how good they are, Mike. 4-3 over Starmount yesterday. Independence over Charlotte Catholic 7-6. Let's see if I can find a few more West scores here to report in girls softball. Here's a 24-2 Sanderson over Cary. Lake Norman over East Lincoln 7-6.
East Lincoln finished state champs. They've lost a couple here.
Yeah,
lately.
and I think that the ones they've lost, Mike, I think have been by 1 run.
Yeah, they're playing a tough schedule.
Yeah, they are. Robinson over Stuart Kramer 15-11. High scoring affair there. Elkin defeats West Iredale 10-6. No score on Corvian and Lincoln Charter. West Forsyth loses to West Rowan 1-0. So they had softball yesterday before they had that big girls basketball game at West Rowan last night. Northwest Guilford 16-0 over Grimsley. Rodney, thank you. He says Maiden defeated West Lincoln in softball by a score of 7-3. Appreciate that. I think that's 2 teams that will be maybe vying for the top spot in softball in the CVAC. Cape Fear, Mike, you're in luck this time. They win over Purnell Sweat 10-0.
Well, that's something.
Yes, that is something. Now it is on Max Preps now. The Maiden win on the road against West Lincoln 7-3. East Duplin over Wallace Rose Hill 10-0. West Stanley over North Stanley 6-1. Let's see, Alexander Central, always a powerhouse in softball, 11-1 over South Iredale. And Randleman over Wheatmore, 5-4. Southwest Guilford 25, Western Guilford 7 in girls softball on Friday afternoon. I'm about to run out of West scores. That does it. Unless you guys got anything to add. That's all I saw as far as from the western part of North Carolina. Got a couple messages here. We'll read them real quick. Let's see. Ned says, speaking of lots of freshmen and sophomores, Maiden West Lincoln. Maiden West Lincoln 3. West Lincoln now 2-2, 0-1 in conference. Maiden 1-0, 1-0. So Maiden's first game.
First game is a conference
That's a
game.
little surprising, isn't it? It was their first game.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that was a misprint when I saw it on Max Preps that they were 0-0 at the time. Lenny says West Lincoln 3-1, 1-1 in baseball. Only lost to Bandy's. Okay, so on Max Preps, I thought it said a South Caldwell lost as well, but maybe that was just a scrimmage.
So you mentioned Bandy's. There you go. They've already beaten West.
Yep. That is the first conference game in the CVAC is Bandy's and West. But West bounced back yesterday with a win over Maiden to boost them up a little. Did you guys? I did have 2 or 3 people got the lyrics right. Did you guys ever?
I can't get it.
Give it a shot?
I've heard this song many times.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And this is a group, and I think they have used 3 different people as lead singers of different songs. And this one is sung by not their most famous lead singer, but another one who passed away within the last year or so.
Wow,
at the hints I'm throwing out there.
You're giving me some hints.
Let's see. Ned says for Maiden softball, Reagan Rembert was winning pitcher and also hit a home run. So, yeah, she was very good on the basketball court as well for Maiden.
Would she be the daughter of Boer Rembert?
Aaron
Rembert.
Good try, though.
It was a good try.
The niece of 4. You can take me to paradise.
Van Halen.
And then again, you can be cold as ice. Okay,
Who
in their group did they use as lead singers? They changed lead singers.
Yeah, but they didn't use. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Who in their group did they move around to? You can take me to paradise. Then again, you can be cold as ice. And here's the title. I'm over my head. Oh, but it sure feels nice.
Sure feels.
There's the title of the song. Now tell me who sings it.
Wait a minute. It's kind of. Let's see.
You can take me to paradise. Then again, you can be cold as ice. I'm over my head. Oh, but it sure feels nice.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yep. And who would be singing that? Ned got it the same time as you did.
Christine McVie.
Yep. That's exactly right. Who are their other 2 singers?
Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks.
I'm disappointed in you for naming Lindsey Buckingham first.
No, before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, for me with Fleetwood Mac, if Stevie Nicks didn't sing, I don't want to hear it.
But you know what? I made it a little harder. If I gave you Landslide, it probably would have been a landslide. It would have been pretty easy to.
I would have said Smashing Pumpkins.
I am disappointed in Mike, though, because he named Lindsey Buckingham before he went.
No, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that is odd. You mean a group of that stature with 3 different singers.
Okay.
What about the Beatles?
Look at the Beatles.
They had 4.
The Beatles had 4.
That's true.
Yeah, and may have 5.
The Eagles.
What was the guy's
Eagles
name
had
that died?
Eagles had several.
The Eagles have had several. Yeah. Oh, anybody in the Eagles can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But Keith Richards was never the second voice. He did have a few songs, but it wasn't the same.
My favorite of his is Happy off Exile on Main Street.
Well, the Happy I'm thinking about, I thought was
Pharrell.
No, not that. Not that Happy. I thought it was Mick Jagger singing the lead.
No, that's Keith Richards.
Okay.
On that one.
I have to play that and listen again sometime. Hadn't heard it in a while. Here we go with our last set of lyrics for the day.
All right.
And we're going to go straight to commercial break. So here we go. I like to dream. Yes, yes. right between
I got that one.
my sound machine.
Ooh, I got that one.
Back in a moment.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Stop by Lowe's Home Improvement in Lincolnton for their great deals on items you use around the house. Need to update around the kitchen? Then shop a great selection of appliances and some up to 30% off retail prices. Buy Craftsman's 20-volt max battery and get your choice of matching Craftsman cordless tool free. Update your workshop area with a wide selection of shop tools, only $99 each. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Shop Lowe's in Lincolnton for the things you want to buy today.
Century Drug in Boger City is the first pharmacy in the area to offer peace of mind for you, your caregivers, and for your family with a convenient poly pouch, strip pouch system, just like the one you've seen on TV. No more sorting through and keeping up with your multiple bottles of medication. No more filling daily reminder boxes. No more calling in meds and worrying about refills. You'll receive all your medications once a month in a box that dispenses a convenient, easy-to-open strip pouch that is perfectly labeled for breakfast, lunch, bedtime, etc. Century will be the link between you and your doctor to assure you that your medication profile is up to date and refillable. In other words, Century Drug will do all the work. You just take your medications and be healthy and happy. Call or come by for a visit today. 704-735-2551. Century Drug, East Main Street in Lincolnton.
All right, welcome back. One last segment, the fourth quarter. I'm going to give it one more time because Mike and Brett got this one instantly.
Oh, yeah.
But I have no text from, no messages from anyone.
That's hard to believe.
That's right. Yeah, I would have thought. And I maybe these people are busy, but I like
maybe
to
it's a little
dream.
bit before their time.
Yes.
Or maybe it was too easy for them to even bother.
That's true, too.
I like to dream. Yes, yes, right between my sound machine. On a cloud of sound, I drift in the night.
Yeah.
Any place it goes is right. Goes far, flies near, to The Stars Away From Here. Now, that is some psychedelic rock lyrics right there.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, if I've ever heard them.
Yeah, is he talking about music or drugs? Taking him.
I don't know. But, that's a good one. These guys got it very quickly.
Yeah,
and,
that's one of 2 signature songs by that group.
Yes, and the other one would happen to be Born.
Get your motor
running.
running.
Your motor running.
That's definitely going to give it away. And I think that is the 2, yeah. I mean, that's definitely the 2 that people would recognize right off the bat.
Where are they from, Mike? You know? Either one of y'all know?
L.A.
Are they?
I think.
Are they?
I didn't know if they were American or not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
With that name, I would have automatically thought British.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't think they're British.
Just you have to check that out now, Brett.
I know. Check that out. I may be wrong, but I thought.
Well, it says they got together in L.A., but
Okay.
it calls them a Canadian-American band.
Well, because John Kay was Canadian, the lead singer. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And Steve's father.
It says, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says he was born in.
Thank you, Ned.
It says he was born in Germany.
Really? Well, that's a German. That's probably a German thing.
So the John Kay is not his real name.
Well, and the name Steppenwolf is the title of
John Kaiser.
A book by a German writer, as I recall, Hermann Hesse.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Steppenwolf.
We did finally get a text. Ned's got it right. Steppenwolf. And the song was
Magic Carpet
Ride. That's a good one. If you had to pick between the 2, you like it better, or do you like Born to Be Wild?
I like Magic Carpet
I do
Ride.
too.
Yeah, I think I do
Even
too.
though it's got that weird, long kind of.
Although, if you started
psychedelic
naming,
middle.
if somebody was to count down like the 50 or 100 greatest rock songs, I'm going to tell you that the other one, Born to Be Wild, would be ahead of it.
I think it would be,
You know,
yeah.
it would probably be ahead of it, I would think.
I had a cousin who heard that song on the radio when he was driving. He had a wreck because it kind of got his adrenaline going.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
But think about it, Born to Be. I mean, if you're 18 years old and you hear that, and
I could see Sammy Hagar's "I Can't Drive 55" making somebody have a wreck.
Get your motor running, get out on the
your motor,
highway.
Yeah. Born
Looking
to Run,
for
Bruce.
adventure.
Yeah.
Whatever comes my way.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. There's another song that makes, when I hear of that Born to Be Wild, it's Bad to the Bone. Those 2 kind of fall into the exact same category to me.
Yeah.
And both of them, I think, would be on most people's top 50 rock songs
Bad to the Bone.
of all
That's a
time.
great
Which one you like best? Bad to the Bone or
I like
I didn't
Bad
forgot
to
which
the
other one I
Bone.
said.
Bad to the Bone for me.
Yeah. Born to Be Wild. Yeah. Thurgood's, is he from the U.S.?
Not sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking he was too. Got a message from Lenny, says, well, first he got the Fleetwood Mac thing right. Oh, that's right, Delaware Destroyers. That was his band.
Yeah.
The Delaware
Wilmington, Delaware.
Thurgood and the Delaware Destroyers.
Yep. You would have to be from Delaware to call your band the Delaware Destroyers. Lenny got it right. Said it must be Fleetwood Mac because Christine McVie just died.
Yep.
Then he said the North Mac team has some other good bloodlines on that basketball team. One of the guards on that team just returned from injury is Trey Maxwell.
Yeah.
He is the son of former University of Florida and NBA player
Vernon Maxwell.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Maxwell.
And they had his older brother played a few years ago when they won. I think it's when they won their last state title.
First thing came to my mind, how old is he to have a
Vernon Maxwell, probably 50.
It's got to be.
Oh. Well, I'm thinking cornbread.
Yeah, you're thinking cornbread.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more like 70, I think.
That's what I was thinking. He's a Mick Jagger if he had a kid in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Vernon Maxwell's 58.
Yes.
And I remember seeing him at the game. We went and watched him play in Hickory
Yeah,
the
he did
year
put Vernon.
The year his older son.
So when would he have been at Florida? 90s? 80s?
I'm gonna throw something at you, and other people can weigh in on this too, since we got a little bit of time here. And I do want to talk about some of the basketball. Of course, it's Duke Carolina Day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an early game?
6:30.
That's early isn't it? For Norman,
last
for
couple
that
of
game?
years, they've been airing it about that time.
Yeah, it's been about 6 or 6:30 the last several years.
It ought to be later. Really.
Vernon Maxwell played at Florida 84 to 88.
Okay.
Who's the best basketball player you ever saw play in person?
Kobe.
It's hard to top that one.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't have said it that way.
The best player I've ever been on the court with, I still say.
I meant high school.
I meant to say
high school. I meant to throw high school in
Tabarak Bell was the best player I've ever stepped on the court with.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He was a player. Got some workouts for the Hornets, I think.
Who was that?
Tabarak Bell.
Oh, yeah, Tabarak Bell.
Come on, Mike, you're a charitable guy.
That's right. I got to know the Bell brothers.
I meant to say high school, and I forgot to throw high school in there. The best player you ever saw play high school basketball. And I can throw two out there just right off the bat. Worthy and Chris Paul. Saw Brett was with me to see Chris Paul.
I was there, too, for Chris Paul.
Yep, okay.
I obviously didn't see Worthy.
No, I didn't see Worthy either.
Yep.
I guess I'd have to say Chris Paul then.
Well, Worthy, Ashbrook played East Lincoln. You had Jolly against Worthy.
That's right.
You know, a 7-footer and a 6'10" playing against each
Who-
other in a
and
high
I
school
guess-
gym
I guess
with Carl
Worthy
Tacey
took
on
him-
the stage.
Did Worthy take him to Cleaners? What was the score?
Obviously Ashbrook won, and they had a better team. I mean, they won a state championship, didn't they?
Runner-up.
Runner-up to Huss.
Never won.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
But then he got his revenge in college.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Yeah, because I was at Ashbrook recently and looking up in the banners, state runner-up that year. So 78 or 9, I can't remember. Which
Give me somebody. Best high school player you ever saw play basketball.
But did they not make it a year before that, Ashbrook?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years in a
I don't
row.
know.
Did they? I thought he won one.
Oh, I don't know.
Just not the year they played Huss.
Right. I can't answer
Maybe
that.
so.
Can't answer that. That's a Lenny.
Yeah,
Lenny might
I don't
the
know.
answer to that.
That's a Richard Walker question.
Yeah.
And where did they play, Ashbrook and Huss? Was that one of their gyms? It was local.
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah, and that's before they did East and West too. You know, they just seeded the team. Or they didn't even seed them then. It was like top line plays, line 3, and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that game. My guess is it would have been at one of the two gyms.
One of the two gyms.
Yeah, in Gastonia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Did you guys give me a name? Best high school player? Now, Chris Paul, we could all say that because we saw him together.
One of the best performances I ever saw was that Aaron Toomey with Bishop
Oh my
McGinnis
gosh,
against Cherryville.
that was amazing.
Yeah, I have to say,
52
52 points.
52
by Aaron Toomey.
and it wasn't like he was just pouring it on because it was a close game.
Oh, yeah.
Without the 52, they might get beat.
They were running like a little 3-man weave right around half court.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he would either go back door or he would just take a handoff and dribble to the basket and score. And
He hit so many long-range shots in that game, too.
Roger says he saw Jerry Stackhouse, Kinston against Ashbrook, or actually playing for Oak Hill at the time. Stackhouse played for Oak Hill against Ashbrook. That's a pretty big name. Coaching the Commodores these days. Is that right?
I think he's still there.
Yeah, I think I saw him on the bench this week.
I don't know how long he'll last.
Vanderbilt.
I don't think they're winning.
Yeah. It's hard to win at Vanderbilt in that conference,
Yeah.
but it's easier to win in basketball than it is in football
Mm-hmm.
in that conference. I will say that.
Let's
Greatest high
Well, I'm almost ready to say Terry Wisner Jr., the 85 Cherryville team.
He was good.
That guided the Ironman to the state championship. Kenny Poston was also on that team, who later played at NC State.
Well, I only saw the younger Terry Wisnett, but
Yeah.
he was really good.
He was. Great shooter.
Sage Surratt wasn't bad
Oh, that's
for
right.
for local.
No, he wasn't.
I don't know how far he could have went if he had decided to play basketball instead of football, but I'm sure he could have played at a pretty big college.
Yep.
Pretty high on the college level anyway. 6:30 p.m. is great for those of us that get up early. That comes from Ned. That's got to be about the high school.
I think it's about Duke, Carolina.
You're talking about Duke, Carolina.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know. For me, that should be like an 8 o'clock game.
Yeah,
a
well,
9 o'clock game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Prime time.
It's all about well, that's what got me. It's not exactly prime time.
Not
You think
exactly,
at least
no.
a 7 o'clock start.
I know.
Let's see. Lenny says he was recruited to Florida by Norm Sloan
That's right.
And took Florida to its first NCAA appearance ever. Vernon Maxwell, that is.
Well, I remember too because they knocked NC State out one year. Well, a Valvano team.
Ned says he saw Jeff McGinnis play for West Charlotte. I saw him play in high school as well. I actually saw one I thought better than that at West Charlotte, Junior Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember Junior Burrow? Yeah. Went to Virginia, didn't he? He was a really good player. West Charlotte had some players. They just had one a couple years ago that's playing in the NBA now. I can't think of his name right off. Jeff McGinnis played for West Charlotte back when Ned volunteered at Garinger. Jason says over the last 3 years, I thought he was going to send me as the best player he ever saw play in high school. ESPN has made 6:30 game their marquee game of the day.
Right.
Don Revel says Brad Daugherty, in high school against Shelby, 1982.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember Daugherty. I did not see him play in high school, but I remember him being at Owen.
Well, I got one.
How about Owen?
I have one.
They threw out Brad Johnson and Brad Daugherty in the same era from Owen High School.
I have one. It was a big guy for State in '74. I saw him against Cherokee.
Burleson at Avery?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Burleson at Avery.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That would be a good one. That's just to football. Who's the best football player you ever saw in high school? Mine's automatic. I mean, it don't even take much thought.
Well, again, for me, the best performance I ever saw was Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
And
That's
he's
who
probably
I'm
the best
going
player,
with.
too.
Well, that's not the best performance I ever saw. Best performance I ever saw was Anthony Barber.
Oh, yeah, for Garner.
And Scott Klarner can attest to that. Scott was
We had 300 and some yards rushing.
Oh, it's a state championship game, and it was when they were still played. This one was played at Memorial Stadium in Charlotte because it was against Harding, and he was amazing. That was the best performance I'd ever seen in high school. But the best player still, Todd Gurley.
Yeah, me too.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah,
to see live. Yeah, and I don't even know if we can name a baseball.
Who's the best high school player you ever saw who did not have a college career? It's pretty easy for me. A significant college career or any college career.
Mike, I don't know. I hope it's not local because I don't want to throw somebody under the bus like that.
No,
I mean,
yeah, it was local, so let's drop it.
Yep.
Well, which makes you think, well, that person was a failure. That's not, but
exactly, and that's why I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to highlight.
Let me retract that.
I don't want to highlight somebody for not having the greatest career after high school. There's a lot, and I know you probably got one in mind.
The player I'm thinking about did have a professional career.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know who you're thinking about. How would I know?
Well, if you go baseball, I didn't see him. I don't think I saw him in high school, but more for Legion was Ralph Roberts. He was an unreal player. I'm not talking about that didn't have a career. I'm just talking about, you said best baseball player. You said Lonnie Chisenhall, and we didn't see him play a high school game.
You're right.
As far
as a high school player, Ralph was
was
top three for sure.
No doubt. And he did have a professional career. He played.
Yes,
I mean, I know Madison Bumgarner was great, but I never saw him do anything great in person.
Yeah.
I saw Ralph Roberts do something every time I watched
I saw Madison do something pretty great on TV a couple times.
Yeah.
That would be claiming two. Did he win 2 World Series MVPs?
I tell you, one of the best I've ever seen.
I don't know if he won MVP.
Jimmy Fortenberry of East
Fortenberry
Lincoln.
was a really good athlete. Really good high school athlete. Yeah, he could play all 3 sports and play them well.
And play them all well.
Yep. Yeah, he's probably the best player on his team in all 3 sports.
Yep.
Denny says
he got to the
Mike
triple.
didn't have to bring me up. That's what Denny said.
What about Norris Hopper? I never saw him play. I never saw him play baseball, but I saw him play football.
Denny was a good baseball player, no doubt.
Yeah, and Hopper would come to mind. As far as 2 or 3 sport guy, he's going to be in the
Norris Hopper.
He's going to be in the conversation. Multiple sports. Lenny says probably Worthy. James Worthy is the greatest player I ever saw in person.
Yeah.
At the high school level, and I don't think they ever won a state championship.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I know they were runner-up.
You know, Chris Paul and James Worthy, their pro careers were similar except for one thing. How many rings did Worthy get?
Several.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. In that Lakers organization.
Mhm.
And there was times he was the best player on that team.
Yeah.
Better than Magic, better than Kareem. I mean, there was times that he
Well,
was
I mean,
the go-to guy.
6'9", he could just run the floor effortlessly.
Don Rebel says Norris Hopper is quite the golfer, too.
Oh, my gosh. Wouldn't you know it? Yep, those guys that can do that, they can do about anything. That's for sure. Mike, you had a set of lyrics for me that you wanted to give me.
Yeah.
That
no, it's just a song I heard on the way up, and it made me think.
Hey, maybe we can start doing a rotation where
Yes,
that way you get a chance.
I get to guess
every,
too.
2 out of every 3
Bother
weeks
me.
you get to guess.
Oh, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf.
Okay, here it is. First 2 lines. Now the seats are all empty. Let the roadies take the stage.
Stay, Jackson Brown.
Dang. Yep.
What else you got?
I was hoping you might not get that.
Oh, sorry I didn't give our audience a chance.
Well, actually, the loadout / stage.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Love it. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I was thinking one day, what is my favorite Jackson Brown song?
That's my favorite.
Is it?
It's one, Running on Empty.
I've always
Running on
loved
Empty's
Running
good.
on Empty just because of the scene in Forrest Gump.
It is a great
But-
beat to it too. It probably is Running on Empty, but I like
Lawyers
in
I like
Love.
Dr. My Eyes a lot.
Dr. My Eyes, yeah, I love that
Dr.
one.
My Eyes.
And These Days, which is a much slower song.
Yeah, that's a very melancholy,
Yeah, that was
melancholic
good.
song. Yeah.
Yep. I don't think he's one of those guys. I don't think gets enough credit.
He's got
for
There's
how good he is.
some movies I really
Yeah.
like that have good scenes with his songs. Like
Great songwriter.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High has
Y'all did
Somebody's
mention
Baby.
These Days.
Should be
Yes,
I love
I
that
said.
one. That might be my favorite.
Yeah,
These
Somebody's
Days.
Baby. I love that one.
Yeah, got to be Somebody's Baby.
Out on the Boulevard.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
And of course, he was once with Linda Ronstadt, right?
Is that his greatest accomplishment?
Maybe his greatest
or is it,
accomplishment.
and at that point, he might have been running on
Well,
empty.
she dated a lot of famous guys. Jerry Brown, who became governor of California, and some others.
What do you guys think the spread is tonight? Carolina and Duke.
Is
where
Duke favored?
And where would you put it?
Well, I'm going to guess it's Duke by 1.
It's actually Duke by 5.5.
5.5.
5.5.
Hmm.
No.
After, did they not? It felt like a blowout when they played at Carolina.
I thought so too. I was so disappointed.
It
with
felt
Duke's
like they
energy.
never had a chance.
Yeah, I didn't either. I never felt.
They
that.
lost by 9, but it never felt close.
I'm like you. Yeah, Duke didn't have bring the energy that night. They will today though, or tonight.
I want to hear. Ned sends me one, and I don't know the answer. The lyric. You tell me what group.
All right.
Good morning, worm.
Worm.
Your Honor. Good morning, worm. Your Honor. That one's or maybe he's just talking to me.
No, I've heard that.
He won't call me Your Honor. He might call me worm.
Good morning.
Locally,
worm.
I agree with Brett. Ralph Roberts. This is Lenny. Only guy I ever saw go to the plate without a bat and confuse the umpire because he knew he was going to get walked. But I think I would throw him strikes if he went up there without a bat. Throw a couple strikes over and see if it lures him into heading back to the dugout to get that.
Have you ever seen a high school player in baseball get walked every time up to the plate, including intentionally? I'm sure there's been some that got walked.
Yeah, but just think
unintentionally.
that happened to Barry Bonds
All
in the
time,
major leagues.
In the major
Yeah.
leagues.
I mean, he was walked one time with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that was respect.
Oh yeah.
Or fear, one or the other.
Or if you're up 3 or 4 and got the bases loaded,
Yeah.
all that's going to do is cut it to 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and you get the next guy out. Where you give up that grand slam, and you're in a lot worse shape.
Yeah, you lose right off the bat. So you said the spread is 5.
5.5.
5.5.
Well, now, what does this mean?
It's funny about basketball, though. I mean, whoever wins, you don't know if it's going to be 1 or 10.
Oh yeah, it could be. It could be a real tight game
Yeah, and
down to the
still be-
last minute and still be over.
6.
Yeah, over 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would take Carolina though with those with points. If I had to bet and I was going to bet $100 right now.
Yeah,
I would go with.
I was thinking
go with
at
Carolina
best
points.
Duke by a point or 2.
Yeah.
They're both playing really good basketball.
Yeah, they are. I still just don't think Duke is as good
They don't have a Baycott.
I think they have.
That's right.
As talent-wise, I think they're as good or better, but I don't. They're not as.
Baycott plays around the rim, even though he did hit 2 threes, I think, in a game this week.
Yeah, the senior night,
but,
he shot a couple
but,
threes.
You know, Filipowski, the only big guy for Duke, he wants to play out on the perimeter too much. So, you know, I think
he's working on his 3-pointer.
Well,
for
Duke
the NBA.
seems like they've figured some stuff out in the last 2 weeks.
That's because this Sean Stewart is finally starting to get significant minutes, and he's contributing. The 6'8" freshman.
Yeah, which makes them a little bigger.
Yeah,
and
that's
a little better rebounding team.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I don't
Ned
like that
is
Caleb Foster's
continuing
out.
the lyrics here. The crown will clearly show the prisoner who now stands before you was caught red-handed, showing feelings of an almost human nature, and this will not do.
That sounds like something Pink Floyd would do.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Kind of dark,
yeah,
obviously.
I do not know, but that one's got me. Obviously, it's not one of the top 100 greatest rock songs of all time. I don't think, unless I've just never understood the lyrics.
I guess we're not going to get it on the air here.
High school basketball at its peak will continue this week. Joel Coliseum in Winston-Salem, where you can see the East and the West regionals both.
It is Pink Floyd.
Tuesday through Friday, is it Pink Floyd?
The Trial.
Yep.
Oh,
that's a good guess, Brett.
I'll have to listen to it and see if I even recognize it.
Correct, Brett. Pink Floyd, The Wall. Now, you just said that, and he had already texted me. How did he know you were going to get it? Oh, because you said, back when you said, sounds like something Pink Floyd.
Like something Pink Floyd would come up with.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's going to do it for us. We appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. We'll see you next week. For Mike, Brett, I'm David. See ya.